Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna read you some cards, but first I would like you to look at my signs. Oh crap, I just messed up my little stand. Okay, so I pulled two cards today, and the first one I pulled was from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. It was this deck, and it was the Cosmic Womb card, number 6, which is always hard to see. Actually, in this light, it's probably the easiest to see ever. So, yeah, that central white kind of indistinct business, I guess, is the Cosmic Womb. And the other card I pulled was from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And it is Shark. Man, it's hot in here. Which is weird because it's not like it's nighttime, so it's definitely not like warm outside. And winter or fall, whatever, has hit. So I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I have a fever. I'm super congested. Oh, come on. I don't want to be sick. Well, we'll see. I don't feel sick. I'm just like really warm. Anyway. So the cards I pulled, I'm in a bit of a sad mood a little bit, because this could be the last time you hear from me for a while, because it takes so long right now with my oh wow. What's happening there with my situation with my bill with my internet service. Haven't been able to quite pay it all or enough to make them happy, so I might probably not be here tomorrow. We'll see. I mean, I could let me see here. I did make another I have another way to get videos up, so I had to make another Google Mail site or Google account. So let me just make sure the name of that account so that I can share that with you. I got access to another phone. Let me try and be clear. It's not mine, so I had to start another Gmail account because I am like a tard and I couldn't figure out how to get to mine. So maybe I'll figure that out before tomorrow and I can do them on my account. But in the event that I can't, I had to open this other Gmail account. So it's cat sample 624, and any videos by that handle will, wow, I don't actually know if I can make them show up in my other, like, Twitter and Facebook. We'll see. I don't know. It's hard to retrieve passwords because you have to know your password to get your password. It's just infuriating. So that's why I'm saying I might not be back tomorrow, but I don't know. Look for videos from catsample624 at Gmail, or just catsample at the YouTube account. I don't know. It's going to be a mystery. We'll see. So, hey. Alright, so while I still have the phone that does work, with the accounts that are recognizable, as usual, I pulled these way earlier. It's now 9, well, actually, it's even after that. What time is it really? Oh, it's 10:30. So, wow. Hopefully this will load because it's been taking so long. They took me off my account. They had me on metered, like from my fully paid, super fast, everything works instantly account. And now they've got me on just like in Xfinity, like generic public. I don't know what the hell, but it doesn't work very well, and it loads things super slowly. So, I'll do my best. Anyway, if you're follicle focusing on my hair like I am, it's this way because I got out of the shower. Let's see, that would have been at like 11 a.m. earlier today, and it's still not dry. I know it looks dry, but you see how shrunk up it is. I did not get a haircut. This is my hair, like, still in wetness curl mode. It doesn't feel wet. Well, it kind of does. I don't know. It takes a long time for my hair to dry for some reason. If I'm not in LA where it's 30,000 degrees with no humidity, then my hair dries in half the time. Still takes a long time. All right. What am I stalling? It kind of feels like it. So anyway, all those many hours ago, I pulled these cards, and at the time, I didn't really know what to think. This one, I always think, the Cosmic Womb, I always think of, like, whatever's happening, like, in the moment, even if it's not your moment, like, just around you. There's, like, those moments where what's coming next hasn't happened yet, but sometimes it's so momentous that you feel like the anticipation feeling, and it's kind of like the feeling of being on a roller coaster in that moment when you're just at the top of a really steep and stupid, scary hill, and you're like, you have enough time to go, why did I get on this ride? Before it throws you down and makes your stomach go up your nose and your fear come out your butt. I don't know. I don't like roller coasters. Can you tell? But it's like that moment, and you have an idea what's going to happen, and you hope everything goes well, and the little car stays on the little tracks, and nothing disastrous and terrible happens. But in that moment, and you have really, I mean, disasters do happen with these things, but generally they're pretty safe. So it's like this false fear moment, you know, but it's just like what's ahead is slightly scary because you don't know, but you also are like, well, it should go fine because of, you know, everything that's gone in the past. Like, there's no reason to think it'll just go flying off the tracks, the little car. So I don't know, I guess it's kind of like what's in your head in that moment. And yeah, I don't know. So I guess I'll read from the guidebook. Oh, and the subtitle on this card is the Divine Feminine, which makes sense since we're talking about cosmic wombs. So, cosmic womb, creativity, the Divine Feminine. The cosmic womb is a reminder that you're undergoing a beautiful process of birthing a new self into being. You don't know who or what it is yet, but you know it's full of life and love and passion and spirit. It's the perfect expression of you, imbued with love incarnate and ignited by the vital spark received from the divine. If you've had a difficult time in recent memory, feeling dry and stagnant or lost and unsupported, this is changing right now. You will feel newly inspired as many ideas beckon for your attention. Wow, it's like the thing you birthed is fecund. Know that you're safe to explore the expression of your rejuvenated creativity, releasing all judgment as your curiosity is piqued. You're in the most fertile cycle of your life right now, intuitively keen, with heart wide open, mindful that each step in the direction of your dreams and desires is effortlessly supported by all the divine helpers in the unseen realms. That is a long. There was like no punctuation. Like that last couple of breaths was one sentence. Not to take away the emphasis, but I mean, I wasn't sure where to keep putting emphasis because it just kept going and going. But I guess I got through it okay. So, basically blurry, unseen, what's to come, we don't know. Should we be afraid? Well, I mean, we could be, but should we? Probably not. That adds an accent of flavor that might ruin the dish. Like, I was seeing this, well, I was watching something on YouTube, and it was talking about, it started off talking about one thing, and it just sort of meandered all over the place, but then it, you know, circled back around and made it all work. So, but what this guy was saying, just in this one part, was about humans eating meat and the condition of the animal before it becomes meat. When it's in the factory setting, it doesn't have much of a life as far as it should as an animal. It's just become this living food object that is just raised very clinically, and there's not like love to it. And for the animals, there's a lot of fear because they know that when one goes away, it could be one of your own breed or litter or litter mate. They just know that when one goes, they don't come back, and maybe the people taking care of them don't treat them with the kind of respect that they deserve, considering where they're preparing them to go. But I know that we can go to work with a lot of stuff on us that makes us act ways. You know, they'll have us feeling certain kind of ways, and it's not great. Like, I know that in a lot of cases, when we are feeling kind of, excuse the expression, fucked up, it comes out of us sometimes in not pleasant ways. Like, we will go to work, particularly if we're mostly unsupervised and with no one watching us, and the opportunity, we will, in the jargon of my elders, act a fool. And so that could mean, excuse me, hold on. Oh, seriously? Shoot. Thought I had a band. Well, it could make us act carelessly, make us think we could just get away with stuff that we know darn well we shouldn't be doing, like ways we shouldn't be acting, treating the equipment badly, you know, being rude to customers or the people that we have to work with. Probably the people we have to work with get it the worst, but I mean, that type of situation where those of us who are given to sort of relent to that type of energy will do it. And that means the people around you, the equipment, the customers, the livestock will be taking the brunt of all that bad energy, and especially the animals, because I guess people feel like, oh, it's just gonna die anyway, and they try and give it like no feelings. But if the thing looks at you, I mean, well, I can't deny an animal that's hurt or in pain or scared, but some people can. And it's something that they're going through. Holy cow, I gotta find a rubber band. My hair is making me so overheated, so we're gonna just travel into other lights of the house. It's gonna get dark. I'm talking about the absence of actual light, not like what I'm talking about with the animals. And now I'm sort of losing the track of what I was saying while I'm searching for... Oh, here goes. Oh, look, there's like 50 in here. Cool. Ah! tight spaces. Oh, come on. It's kind of a wreck in here. There's definitely more stuff than this space has room for. It's not even an obstacle course. It's that. It's that Tetris thing that I have talked about before. When it's so crowded that you can move about as freely as you can as the squares in a Tetris game. Oh man, I think I might be sick. Getting sick because the congestion is not going away. And usually when I've been awake for as long as I have now, all of the fluid, I guess, will be affected by gravity. I don't know. Sorry, that was distracting. I mean, I'm like really hot. Like overheated. Not the other kind. Shut up. I would never say that about myself. Even if I felt that way, I wouldn't say it out loud. I don't know. It's embarrassing. Okay, so shark is the other card I pulled. And I thought it was interesting because inside the womb is basically your own personal sea when you're an embryo growing. Well, I'm just talking human infants, but pretty much everything before it's born in the womb or the egg, however they're reproduced, there's a period. Like the thing I was watching, I think it was the same thing, was talking about when no, it was a different one, but it was talking about how when we're going through changes, like as people, this other thing was talking about how we kind of need our alone time, we need time to isolate, we need time to integrate like downloads and emotions and go through all of those things before we can make the internal changes necessary to move on to the next step and like elevate our growth. Yeah. So the shark lives in the ocean, and the shark, I mean, I don't really know. Like I don't think sharks lay eggs, but they're not mammals. I suppose I'll have to let me get my note paper. Oh, come on. I have so much stuff up here. It's very crowded. I'm gonna make a note of how do sharks give birth. I mean, I know they just come shooting out of the shark. It seems like I've seen that. Like a water birth. But I think there are more details I need to make sure I know what the heck I'm trying to say. Sharks are born how? Okay. But yeah, I just thought like both of these have the water theme. So, actually, before I just let my associations take me away with this, I'm going to read the book and see what it says. Shark, directness, exposure, revealing true nature and desire. The shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. Huh. They say that about ghosts, too. This card indicates that something big needs to be exposed. It's lurking in the depths and creating tension. Shark energy takes us over when we are hesitant to be honest, to be totally ourselves, or to say what we really want. It may be tempting to continue pretending nothing is wrong, but when shark energy is at play, we feel its presence encircling us. Wow. Well, as far as like the shark birth, it's interesting that they said that the shark is only dangerous. Wait, that's not the part I want. Well, it says the shark is only dangerous when we don't acknowledge it. And the card indicates that something big needs to be exposed. It's lurking in the depths and creating tension. Okay, that does not compute. Get out of there. No one asks for your... God, I wish the... Jeez! There, please stay. I was just gonna say, I wish the cords were more pliable. They're all stiff and then they don't want to quite bend where you want. It's like fighting me. Like, I want you to be there, and it's like, I want to go this way. And like, no, I don't need your help other than to just be a light for the moment. So, but the thing I said about the sharks being dangerous only when we don't acknowledge them being analogous to ghosts. If you've watched a ghost show, you may have seen the times when the investigative team goes in with a skeptic, and the skeptic, or there's a skeptical investigator, or, I don't know, but there will be like the team that, like, we believe in it, we're here to investigate the phenomenon and possibly remove it or alter its presence in some way, where the ghost party and the human living party people can live in some sort of harmony. But the skeptic, though, can walk into these places that the investigators have been called there in the case that I'm thinking of, cases, and so they're already feeling like there's a likelihood that something phenomena based is happening there, and it's not like psychological or a plumbing problem or something like that. So they'll always go in with that mindset, but then what I'm talking about is the skeptic will arrive with them and go in there talking about, I don't believe in ghosts, I don't think this stuff is real, and they'll get scratched up or something will fall on them, or they'll, get some sort of physical manifestation saying, oh yeah? And, there are, like, mean ones that can be like, I'll follow you home and give you nightmares for, like, time means nothing to me. I can just do it forever. Like, it'll be forever to you. You know what I'm saying? So, different situation with these. Like, there are times, plenty of times, you can go on YouTube and see divers petting sharks. They have sharks that are, like, their favorites. And also, if they've eaten, they're not interested, unless they've made a diver friend, but the thing about, like, a shark in the water, like most sea creatures, unlike us, are not wearing clothes or any kind of covering, any kind of protective garb. They're just naked in the water. And so, no artifice, like, no... I mean, I think it's like that in the water, but we'll stick to this medium because of these cards. But I think anywhere where something lives, when it's in its element, it's the most itself that it is. And in the ocean, nothing except for, like, crabs, hermit crabs, are wearing something, you know what I'm saying? They are just, you see them as they are in the water, and there's no need for all of that stuff in the water. That's not our realm. We have to put on all kinds of things and apparatus to be able to breathe and stay under the water in that realm. So I don't know where I'm going with that. There's the last few things that the book had to say. When in balance, intriguing, captivating, mysterious. I mean, you can get up real close sometimes. Another thing I saw on YouTube today was a guy in I believe he was fishing, and he was in some sort of I want to say kayak, and a shark, a big one, leapt up out of the water, and its bite was so big, it took, I guess, like, the pole, and I don't know about the fish, but its bite took the pole that was, like, hanging over the water, the side of the boat, and almost the guy's, like, limbs and stuff. So I don't know, it looked like it took a pretty good crunch out of the boat, and the size that would like keep the water out where that bite was greatly lowered. So I felt like, oh man, that guy, I hope he wasn't too far from land or another vessel or something, because it seemed like that he was about to be in the water soon, like sink. I don't know what that had to do with. See, now I'm just all over the place and meandering like that other thing I was talking about. But yeah, they are mysterious and captivating, and in most cases, you do not want to get to the bottom of the mystery of a shark, because it's not really a mystery. If it ain't the shark, something in there is going to be hungry, and you're going to be floating and flailing around or swimming and looking like something to eat to some of these things, or even the things that don't want to eat you. Now see, I'm going to go into waters where I don't really know what the hell I'm talking about, but do jellyfish hang out in deep water like sharks? Sharks come to shallow waters, I know that. I don't know, hungry animals are like really sort of jumping out of their places to get at food that we happen to have. Something to think about. When out of balance, sneaky, destructive, stalking. To bring into balance, honesty. Well, I mean, that's what they got going anyway. They don't even, well, they don't have to lie. You know who are the liars of the sea, I guess you could say? Color-changing camouflage animals. If you're just gonna go for straight honesty, then that's kind of dishonest. This is not how I really look, but I'm gonna look like this coral for a moment until you pass by. It's definitely a survival mechanism, I get that, but let's face it, it's dishonest. Oh my goodness. Yo man, yeah, I'm not making good sense. So, I guess you could say that in this water medium, where things have not quite been figured out, things are indistinct and hard to make out, and there are shapes in there. Like, I'm looking at this womb, and it has, around the edges, a very vague heart shape. Because it mostly does, but there's something happening here. Almost like it's a hanging thing, like it's some kind of ornament, but it just interrupts that heart shape that we like to draw with the two bumps on the top and the pointy bottom, because it does kind of do that. But then there's this thing, like it kind of looks like what's on the necklace, so you can run a chain and hang the pendant, like if the heart was a pendant. But anyway, stuff in there, you can see stuff, and you know that it looks sort of like this, it looks sort of like that. It's unformed. It's not formed completely. And in the ocean, if the ocean is the metaphor for the continuing metaphor for a womb, the ocean, like the whole thing. And I mean, unless the creature goes into a crevice or something like that, that is its, you know, its home or whatever, or hidey hole for that matter. That's kind of the like hermit crab, analogous to human stuff. That's what's hiding. That's what's unseen. But something like a shark, it's kind of right out there, and you know they can't stop or they'll die, because that's how they breathe, with their gills. So I know they sleep, and I'm not sure. I guess I'll have to look that up. Also sleep. So I know they do it. I don't remember the exact condition they become in to be sleeping. Well, that was a terribly constructed sentence. I don't know what it looks like, or forget it. You know what I'm trying to say. I need to find out how it is that sharks sleep, since they're supposed to be moving because of the breathing. Man, this is confused. I'm trying to escape. I need to go take something. I don't know. I feel like it's future, present, and past, present, and future doesn't really work for this, but where does this belong in the tenses? Future to be, pre-future? I don't know, but it's unclear. But something is going to happen there. It's a work. It's God, I can't even, like, the phrases are just going by so fast. I can't even grab them. I can't grab them good. Under construction. My goodness, that was hard to get out. And then I thought something. Oh, and another thing that I saw was about when we're changing, when we're going through like the null period, like hanging above the top of that roller coaster, when you in your head at least you're like, it could go this way, it could go that way. I don't really know, but you kind of do know. So I feel like that's what this represents, and I feel like this represents not at all unclear. Absolutely, what you see is the truth, and it could either be recently fed and doesn't really care much about you, or maybe it acknowledges your presence and does have a friendly feeling toward you. But I don't know if sharks are like domesticated dogs, Are they gonna I know that the shark I saw with the diver friend did recognize the diver. I'm sure there's a scent element involved, and then also a vibrational element involved, where some of us have that vibrational thing that is attractive to animals. Not all animals. I have it with cats. Stranger cats I don't know will come running up to me, and then other animals I'm perfectly fine with too, like domestic animals. Dogs, I get along great with dogs, but they don't just come running up to me to say hi, even if like they've never seen me before, which cats do. So I love that, because I love cats, and then I'm just like, wow, I'm on the cat wavelength. I love that. So I'm assuming that diver had something attractive to the shark. But again, in the ocean, if the visibility is clear, you're gonna see what you get, pretty much. And what can I take away from that? Well, I mean, there's a lot of things going on now. Like, there are things I talk about all the time, but they haven't gone away yet. So now 2 wars, and those situations are unseen and horribly unresolved, because you get the carnage that happens as well. And I don't have a third card indicating happiness and the end of these sort of evolutionary periods, but in its own way, the wars and the unrest in the U.S. Congress that has created a roadblock to vital functions within the U.S. government, that's churning and changing and going through changes, and eventually it has to come to a resolution, because the government needs to move forward. And can I just interrupt myself to say, who do we think is super happy that the U.S. is not able to function properly right now? Who agrees with me that this is a point of vulnerability for us? I'm not saying this because I'm all shaken with fear about it, although it wouldn't be great if there was some attack due to this period of vulnerability. I'm just saying, now would be a good time for it to happen, considering my other theory/belief that there's a bunch of spies, and, well, spies is good enough, I guess. and traitors in our government that are like deliberately being roadblocks and making stuff not happen. And they're loudmouthed and you can't miss them. And they sound just like the former president. The things they want and the things they say are darn near identical. And I know they're associated, so I have no trouble believing that he's directing what they're saying, even though it's, well, never mind even though what it is. The point is it's kind of screwing us up, and the handlers, the penultimate handlers in this screwed up sort of relationship, double cross betrayal we got going, I'm sure are thrilled that we're not able to get it done. The thing with that though is the U.S. doesn't function solely as the U.S., so if we can't do stuff, our allies are not going to be able to do stuff. People, entities that we were helping possibly to survive won't get needed help. And so I feel like there's a sort of deliberacy to all of that. It just, you have to like go up high and take a wider angle view of things, and also keep track of history and stuff like that, so you can recognize repeating patterns, because they are there. And I guess it's not like our job here to untangle that in particular. I think we're supposed to be concentrating on messes and tangles closer to home if we have them. But the ultimate goal is to untangle the tangles and, create those positive landscapes and timelines and all of that like that there. That's the best I'm going to do as far as clarity. And I got to go. If I don't go find some kind of decongestant, my nose is about to start dripping down my face, and that's unattractive. Thank you and good night.